Hello friends, Konrad here from the Culture Cave. Our loyal subscribers will of course recognise the following side-splitting / interesting / problematic segment from one of the episodes of the Best Movie Podcast Ever. And if you haven't subscribed yet, why not check this out and then get in on the ground floor?
But yeah, let's go back to you then, Anthony, for your last one.
My final film. Okay. You know, funnily enough, it's actually set very similar time frame to what you've been just talking about. But it's also made almost 90 years after. It is, of course, everyone's favorite series of all time, Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Okay, is Eddie Redmayne in that one, or is he in the first one?
He's in both. So it's like
okay.
I think they've announced there's going to be 5 of these. Of course, Johnny Depp's just been dropped because
who's replacing him? I didn't see.
Has it been announced yet? I'm not sure.
Oh,
while
okay,
I do my little,
maybe
look that up while I'm doing my little spiel about the film. So
yep.
basically, we all know this has been basically set in the Harry Potter universe. You know, my childhood is a slave to Harry Potter. I will just say, and devoiding myself of this, even watching this once would be closing off the happiest part of my childhood. Having said that, it wasn't good. Let's be honest. This series is quickly devolving and really exposing J.K. Rowling as just not good.
Did she write this then? I thought this was completely separate from her writing.
No. She writes them. And then they also they released the script in novel form.
Right. Okay.
So it is all, as it is with J.K. Rowling. It's all about making money. Like that's like she hit upon an interesting idea that was basically trope upon trope from a load of other fantasies in Harry Potter. I've always said, even though I loved it as a kid, and even though I could watch the films now and read the books now and still enjoy it because it is nostalgic for me, I will always say it's soft fantasy. The world that she has built does not hold up to scrutiny whatsoever. And that is never more evident than in The Crimes of Grindelwald. Because every time they have an opportunity to add in an extra element, to add in something new to this world, they either don't do it and just reference something that's already from the books or the films, other films, or it's so lazily done that it just exposes her for not knowing what she's doing. So let me give you a few examples. In this film, they, in the same 10 or 15 minutes, have references to the Philosopher's Stone. Nicholas Flamel is in the film. They have Dumbledore as a young man, who's played by Jude Law. They have the Lestrange family tree.
Okay, yep.
And many more things. They have they just keep saying, hey, remember this? You liked Harry Potter. So if I show you stuff from Harry Potter, you're going to like this. So that's what it felt like. And to be honest with you, for example, it's sort of, they go across, basically it's set up in that Newt Scamander, who played by Eddie Redmayne from the first film, he collects animals, and they sort of have gone away a little bit from the fact that it's about him looking for different animals. And the whole point of the first one was that he was meant to be, Newt Scamander wrote a book, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, and that's one of the books they use in school, in the school of Hogwarts, and he's a big sort of author. And the whole point of these films was meant to be he's writing these books. Well, in the second film, it's hilarious. In other films, they would just have a cop come in, or a wizard come in, I suppose, and say, hey, get away from that, you know? Yeah. In this film, they've got a wizard walk in, but they're surrounded by 3 or 4, fantasy dogs, because you got to have creatures in it, because it's all about him discovering animals. And it's just hey, you need another animal, there's another one. It's there wasn't this many animals in the Harry Potter films. Where have they all fucking come from? You know. So anyway, an example of where it just shows me, to be honest with you, that J.K. Rowling is not a good world builder. She had the opportunity to actually create a more compelling world, because they were going, in the first one they went to New York, and in the second one now they've gone to they've gone to Paris. And in New York, so the Ministry of Magic is in London, right? And that's the UK, the British Ministry of Magic. Now when they went to New York, They didn't call it like the Department of Magic. You know,
The Federal Department of Magicians and Witches.
Yeah, no, they didn't. They call it Ministry of Magic USA. So it comes up at the bottom saying like America or USA or New York or whatever, Ministry of Magic. When they were going to Paris, they didn't call it Le Departement Magique or Le Ministrie Magique or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They called it Ministry of Magic Paris, right?
Oh, okay.
I'm just like, you don't know what you're doing, J.K. Rowling. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know, I could go on about this all day long.
I mean, this is a writer who called an East Asian character Cho Chan, so it's like kind of like she is a writer who will only ever do the most cursory of research into how to represent another culture before she's just like, yeah, that'll do. No, like that passes the squint test.
Yeah, and I'd like to be completely honest with you. She kind of falls into the Star Wars problem of
that sounds like what you're describing.
Yeah,
and like referencing.
It's a Star Wars problem of needing every character to be related in some way to famous characters from the past.
Yeah, and like constantly like leveraging nostalgia to replace actual good filmmaking or good storytelling, I guess.
Exactly. That's the way it was. To be quite honest with you, I wasn't impressed with this film. Ema and I were watching it, and like literally there was a point where I clicked to see how much film was gone. An hour and 20 minutes had gone, and I said to her, I could probably cut this film together and it would be 10 minutes long and it would cover all the main points so far. like literally, she doesn't know what she's writing screenplays. It's so boring. It's nothing happens.
I don't know how well these movies are doing, to be honest, because they always seem to be poorly received critically, yet they're making more of them. I mean, to go back to what we were talking about when you first started talking about this, Mads Mikkelsen is replacing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, which is a pretty cool replacement.
I like Mads Mikkelsen
a lot.
Yeah.
But you know, so they're definitely making the third one, despite the first and second being very poorly received from everything I've seen about them.
Yeah, well, poorly received, and I can see why. I was in school today, and I told one of my pupils who I know is like sort of a bit of a nerdy Harry Potter fan, like I would be, and I said to him, I watched Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald yesterday, and he said, "That's a crap movie." Like, literally,
like if you lost them, if you're not getting those guys on board, then you're struggling.
It's it's not good. I think Jude Law is a good casting for a young Dumbledore, like a good young Michael Gambon. I think that's probably pretty good. Mark Kermode is a film critic that I really admire, and he said that he hated this film, and in the last 10 minutes made him kind of want to see the next one.
Oh, okay. Is that? Would you agree with that?
No. To be honest with you, the last 10 minutes compounded all the problems I had with it. You know, the last reveal at the very end I was like, that's the big reveal. More of the same shit. Okay, I'm out.
So, do you think you're going to watch the third one?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. They got you. They got you right where they want you.
I would have watched the third one no matter what, because to be honest with you, this is going to sound really silly, okay? Because I've just basically shit on this film for 10 minutes. But the reason why I'm going to watch the next one is the same reason I keep watching the Pirates of the Caribbean films. If I like the aesthetic of your world, I'll spend an hour in it. Like I'll spend an hour and a half in it. An hour and a half of my time every 2 years, I'll give it to you if I like what I'm looking at.
I mean, the production design of these seems good, at least. Yeah,
exactly. So that's how I feel about it. I know you haven't seen it. You've only recently watched the Harry Potter films, so
yeah, I literally only just finished watching them for the first time. So if my current rate of progress through the Harry Potter universe is to be extrapolated for this, I'll probably get around to these movies when I'm in my 50s.
Yeah. Just to put it in perspective as well, Fantastic Beasts on IMDb has 6.6 out of 10. The Circle, which I also didn't really like, has 5.3. The Circle is 1,000,000 times better than Fantastic Beasts.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's probably that our previously stated issues with the IMDb rating system and user ratings in general.
Yeah, I probably should be looking at the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but still.
Yeah, I tend to use Rotten Tomatoes, but I mean, still, you know, it's interesting to get a sense of how people feel about it, and I guess maybe the like you've said, the production design and the way they realize that world is enough for some people, even if it sounds like narratively there isn't really that much going on.
Listen, when the next one comes out, like, I know he's probably still not old enough to watch it, but my first son is probably going to be 4 or 5, getting into the age where we might want to start reading him the Harry Potter books. You know, whether or not we will do that at this stage based on recent things coming out, I'm not sure we will. I probably still will, to be honest with you. My wife hasn't bought anything from Nestle for 3 years. Come on, we do boycott some things, but basically, I think I'll probably get around to watching the rest of this series whenever my kids are into Harry Potter. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they enjoy it, then I guess there's something positive to be gained from the creation of
and then like when he turns 10 or 11 and I tell him Santa's not real, I'll then say, oh yeah, by the way, Crimes of Grindelwald is crap.
Yeah, those movies you love are terrible. Yeah. Get some taste.
Yeah,
Junior.
that's the second revelation today, son. No Santa Claus, and that's a crap film.
Yeah, you need to work on your taste. We're going to sit down and watch Citizen Kane.
Yeah. All right, well, there you go. What are your last ones? How many you got left?
Okay, so I've got 3 left. I'm going to go through.